that doesn't often happen. It can happen, but not often. So I think we are reasonably protected if we're answering a call out in the village. And they've had some pretty harrowing calls out in the village, at least since I've been here. And they're not incidents that I think we would expect any of our friends and neighbors to have to just wait till the sheriff arrives, sort of, frontier, wait till the cavalry gets there. They're pretty serious events, and it was a good thing that our officers were there to prevent the situation from going from bad and worse. I think we're gonna get compensated, at least to some level.
So how soon would you know?
I would hope to know by the end of the year, before we set the final levy.
I'd say wait until we find out where we stand with them.
My point, though, is that it's only gonna cover a certain percentage of a full-time officer. I think what the chief is saying is that we have a need for 3 officers here, regardless of whether they get called out to other towns or not. To maintain the level of service that we have right now, we need the 3 officers. The compensation we're gonna get from the village is not gonna offset the cost of this 3rd officer. It's gonna, it might have an impact, but it's not gonna fully offset it.
And I'll say again, I don't see any justification for not doing this. None. Whether the village protects their citizens is irrelevant to our discussion. We need to protect ours. Master, I recommend all city councilors vote to hire this full-time officer. Any other questions or comments? Anybody?
I would, I think our budget discussions are going to, could potentially impact that number. I'm not, right now, I'm not 100% comfortable with the equity situation, or the equitable thing that's happening. And yes, we do need coverage, we do need protection, but there may be other ways of providing that same level of protection.
When have you ever been comfortable with the equity?
After a while. Yeah. That doesn't necessarily mean that it should just continue.
Would you recommend then we hold off on this vote until after we have the budget discussion?
Or at least until we could get a definition from the village of what they're gonna do, so that we know how to plug that in to our budget.
Anything we get from them?
Or is it so small that it won't impact the budget?
That's probably the case.
I just wanna know,
10,000.
At maximum, yeah.
That's the number that's not the number they committed to. That's why I hesitate to even bring it up. I think that's the number that we're working with. Maybe it'll be more, maybe it'll be a little less. But I think that's the placeholder that